Hey everybody, Anish Majumdar here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious. I wanted to dash off a quick follow-up to Tuesday's video. Now, if you didn't get a chance to watch that, Tuesday's video is all about how do you quickly break the ice with someone, especially in a high-stakes situation. You know, a lot of times we get so bogged down in what we need to say that we never think about the other side of the piece. You know, am I coming across likable? Am I really building and having that sense of flow and connection with someone? So that video went over great, and I got a question which was all about Anish. These are great tips, but what about a group interview? You know, what if I come in there and it's not just one person I need to build rapport with, it's like a panel of like 4 or 5 people. What do I do then? So I wanted to dash off a couple of quick tips for you that will help. Number 1, okay, first and arguably the most important tip here, work the room. When you come in, it is really essential that you greet each and every person as an absolute individual. Don't start out treating them like a disembodied group, because that is going to naturally undercut how easily you can build rapport with any of these individuals. So it's very simple. You go in there, hi, hello, handshakes to each and every person that is there. I don't care who seems like the leader, who does not. Make it a point to not begin anything else unless you first do that. Go right through the room, work the room, hi, hello, introduce yourself to each and every person as an individual. Number 2, every group is going to have a leader. Every group is going to have someone who's going to take the lead in it, okay? So don't fight that. Go with that. In the early going of an interview like that, you're going to quickly see that one person is sort of regularly asking the questions, is stepping forward. It's okay. Focus on that person as the primary target of your rapport building efforts. You know, that's the person that if you can win that person over first, their appreciation and rapport of you is really going to extend out to the other members of this group. So focus in on that leader first and spend the bulk of your time talking with this person. Now, a lot of people, there's a lot of bad advice out there, honestly, when it comes to hiring, you know? And one of it is, well, if you've got a group one, do your research, essentially LinkedIn stock them all, and so you'll have some icebreakers. You know, honestly, to tell you the truth, if you want to do it, that's fine. But, you know, a lot of times it just tends to gum up the works. I got an easier way for you, okay? Rather than doing that, what I would recommend is this, okay? Come in with some really crowd-pleasing stories. So if you're going to be coming into an interview, and of course you've got a resume and you've got key stories from your work history and stuff like that to talk about, sprinkle in some really human stories that anyone can respond to, and that'll really help you build rapport with almost everyone. I'll give you one simple example, okay? I've never really been a big sports fan. Like, you start talking to me about what this team is doing or what that team is doing, I get this that look, you know, because it's like, oh boy, I don't know. I really don't know. I played sports, I don't follow them, right? But it wasn't until I became a father that I realized that sharing a story with family, that's just like sports. I mean, it's so universally shared that anyone can respond to it. So if I come in there and I'm trying to build rapport with a bunch of people, I promise you I'm not starting off with some career-based thing or professional-based thing. I'm talking about this thing that my son did the weekend ago, or this challenge that my wife and I faced, or this crazy thing that happened when we were both sleep-deprived and just trying our best to make ends meet. We were doing all of those things. So if you have some crowd-pleasing stories, share that. And here's 2 suggestions. 1, a family story is always great. Anyone can respond to that. And 2, how about a personal story of you overcoming some kind of adversity, so that when they say, tell me a little bit about yourself, instead of reiterating kind of, I went to school here, I did this, come on, boring, right? Not going to build rapport. Share a personal story in that moment, you know, this is the kind of person that I am. This is the adversity that I faced when I was a kid, and here's where I am today. You know, that can really, really, really make a big difference. Here's another one. Don't dodge the hard questions, especially in a group setting, okay? In a one-to-one setting, they ask you about a lack of experience, for example. You might be tempted to do the old duck and weave, you know? But in a group one, don't try to do that, because if one person isn't going to hammer you, the 4 other people are. You're giving all of them an opportunity to continue to poke holes and stay on this thing that you're not that comfortable with. So my suggestion to you would be acknowledge the weakness. Yep, you're right. I don't have experience in that. 2, talk about the real thing they're asking. They're rarely asking about the thing itself. They're asking about what is this other quality. So for example, if I'm in an interview, right, and there's a group interview and they're like, Anish, we're really looking for someone who can lead groups of 30, 40 people, and I've only led 2 or 3 people, don't use a group interview as a place to try to like dodge and weave and say, well, this, if that. Don't make any justifications, because they will hammer you for that stuff. Rather, what I would do is, number one, acknowledge it. Yep, absolutely. I've never led teams of that size. Number 2, hit the real thing they're asking you. What are they asking me really when they ask me that? They don't really care of the scale of people that I've led. What they want to know is, can I lead? Can I influence? Can I get large groups of people pulling on the same page? So if I can, when I'm responding, talk about those examples from my work history, now I'm not defending so much. I'm addressing the real pain points that they want to address. And in a group situation, you really want to do that, okay? Remember, they're looking for leaders. So if there's a little bit of pushback from you, if there's a little bit of, I disagree with that, or I don't see things that way, that's fine. A little bit of backbone is fine and really is encouraged, honestly, in that group thing. So don't bob and weave there. One last thing I'm going to say. Take some extra time in a group setting to carefully respond to the people who up till then have not really been leading things. There's always going to be one person who's going to be taking the floor on the interview. This person loves to hear themselves talk usually. They're the ones, right? But think about for a second all of those other people. And I'm sure you've been in these situations. You're in some group thing and you're thinking, and maybe you're not the most outgoing, and you're asking a question, you're contributing some value. When that happens, don't go hard on this person, all right? Don't ignore this person. Don't treat them as somehow lesser than the leader in the room. Take actually extra time to thank them for the question, to respond in a thoughtful way. I promise you, those people who don't talk much in those group things, if you can win them over by just taking those extra couple of moments, you're going to win over the entire room. You're going to win over the whole group. So these are some of my tips for how you can really build rapport in a group setting as opposed to a one-of-one setting. They really, really do work, and they really will help you in terms of just getting your message across. And again, what's the ultimate goal here? When you leave, you want people to say, you know what? That was great. I really liked that person. Not only did I feel that this person is credible, but I genuinely like who they are, and I look at them as a credible person. That's what you want. That's rapport in a nutshell. So use these tips. I hope that they help you. Share some tips of your own if you've got some about how you won over a cold group. I'd love to hear it, and I'm always learning. I'm a sponge, just like I hope you are as well. So thank you for learning with me. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Have a wonderful rest of the day. If you like that video, I encourage you to hit subscribe to get other expert tips and strategies that will take your career further.